or canola oil. You could also use an olive oil. Topic that we got a request for. I think it's always surprising. Thanks for the great questions, you guys. Thank you, Sandy. Looks good, doesn't it? I want to hear from you guys. This is the show for you. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's so good. So many wonderful people on tonight. Thank you guys for being here. All right. Hello, friends. Good to see you. Welcome back to another healthy meal in the making here at Cook With Me TV. I'm your host, Ashley Thomas, registered dietitian, and tonight we're whipping up some delicious maple mustard chicken thighs with some veggies. It's going to be simple, quick, and delicious. Let me know, are you cooking this with me tonight? Did you cook anything with me last week on replay that you want to tell me about? Would love to hear it. Hey, Katie Witt, good to see you. Thanks for tagging Michael. She's saying maybe this is like your special honey mustard chicken. Ooh, so we already have someone who does, what is that? Honey mustard chicken. Love it. That combination, the sweet, tangy, salty combination of honey and or maple and mustard is just so beautiful together. And that's what we are creating tonight in the kitchen. So if you are cooking with me, go ahead and get out the chicken. That is the first thing that we are going to start cooking because it's going to take the longest. So as you saw in the recipe, we are using skin on, bone in chicken thighs. And yes, you're probably like, that can't be healthy. I mean, isn't that higher in fat as opposed to chicken breasts? Well, it is higher in fat, but that's okay. We're really trying to get rid of this idea that fat is bad here on Cook With Me TV because fat is actually good. Now, I'm not saying you need to go eat like a stick of butter on your toast in the morning or that you only need to eat the chicken skin. Everything in moderation, right? As we always say, but we want to just share that, fat is not bad. We do need fat in order to absorb a lot of the vitamins and minerals that's in our food. Also, I feel like the chicken thigh is a very underappreciated cut of chicken. Give me a thumbs up if you can agree with that. Y'all, the chicken thighs are extremely affordable. You're gonna save a lot of money in chicken by purchasing the chicken thigh at least once a week. Like if you're somebody who eats a lot of chicken during the week, maybe switch it up. Do chicken breasts and chicken thighs. Okay, so we've got our thighs here on a plate, and we're just getting them out on a plate so that we can sprinkle some salt and pepper on them. We want to season the tops of these so that once we lay them down into the pan, we're going to start creating some nice flavor. But before we do that, let's head on over to the stove and we'll get our pan on. So go ahead and heat that pot up to about medium high, and get a little drizzle of olive oil in the bottom here. This is going to help us create a nice sear and crisp on the outside of that chicken. So we'll let that come up to heat. Hey, Bob. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Hey, you stranger. Long time no see. We're making a maple mustard chicken tonight. How are things with you? Okay, a little bit of pepper on here as well. Then we'll flip these guys over, get them in that pan, and we're just gonna sear them on both sides for a couple of minutes and then pull them back out. So we'll flip them over, do the other side here, and then lay them in the pan. So let me know, what are your thoughts on chicken thighs? Do you like them? Not so much? I love them. What we're also gonna cook with this is some veggies. So we're gonna do some sweet potatoes, we're gonna do some onions, some garlic, all good stuff. My hand's a quick rinse here. Bob is saying, I love your new kitchen. Thanks. I don't know if you know, but I moved to Peoria and we're living with my in-laws right now. So we've upgraded the kitchen for sure. I know, and I heard that your mom passed away 2 weeks ago. I'm so sorry to hear that. I know it was a bit of a struggle there at the end, so I hope everyone is at peace with it all, and I hope you're doing okay. Okay, let's go ahead and get these chicken breasts, not chicken breasts, chicken thighs, into the pan here. We'll put them skin side down first. Also, by using bone in, we're getting a little bit more flavor. And I don't know if there's any pregnant women watching, but if you are pregnant, chicken thighs are going to be a great source of glycine, especially the bone-in chicken thighs. And glycine is important for all stages of pregnancy. It's a very underappreciated nutrient. So maybe we've got some people who are cooking for gestational diabetes on here. So you pregnant ladies, that's a good cut of meat for you to be choosing. Okay, I'm gonna give my hands just a quick rinse here. I want to wash off any of that salmonella that might be lurking about. Okay, and the next thing we're gonna do is, while those chicken thighs are searing, we're gonna get our sweet potatoes chopped up. And we're gonna dump all of these wonderful veggies into that pan. Bob is saying I like the white meat better. To each his own. To each his own. I like both. I like a good mix of both. Hey Lindsay, thanks for joining. Good to see you. I'm gonna give this knife a wash because I did cut my chicken open with it, and I'm about to cut all my vegetables. Okay, so we're leaving the skins on these sweet potatoes. Lots of nutrition and fiber in the skin here. Always leave it on. Don't waste time cutting it off. And we're gonna cut them into chunks. Again, you've heard me say this before. We want all of these veggie pieces to be roughly the same size so they all cook at the same rate. So go ahead and chop up your sweet potatoes. And if you are cooking with me tonight, let me know how things are going in the kitchen. You could use other, like a white potato with this or a purple potato. The great thing is that you can just, you can swap out different vegetables. Bob is asking, have you used citrus-infused sea salt? It's great for poultry. I have not. Where might I find that citrus-infused sea salt? That sounds amazing. Do you think I could just add maybe like some lemon zest into it? Hi, Nancy. Wow, this sounds good, she says. Yes, it's delicious. You should cook it with me. I know it's probably too late if you haven't made the plans, but next time for sure. So you've probably noticed that there's really no grain in this dish. So I know sometimes we cook with grains here, and we like to use them as a side to act as a carbohydrate or a starch in our meal. So what we've done is we've replaced a grain and used a sweet potato instead. So you're still getting some carbohydrates from the sweet potato, but they're not going to spike your blood sugar as high as maybe, say, white rice or something like that, or a pasta. So this is going to be a wholesome, healthier carbohydrate choice. Which, even if you don't have diabetes, you know, it's good for all of us to really manage our blood sugar. So this is always a good move. Hey Clancy, good to see you. Thanks for joining in. I hope you're doing well. Nancy is saying, I will thaw out my chicken thighs and try this. Oh, which brings me to a good point. Thanks for saying that, Nancy. Yes, you can buy chicken thighs next time at the grocery store and just freeze them, even if you don't think you're going to cook them immediately, because then you can have them on hand for whenever you need them. Okay, so if you are cooking with me right now, you're probably hearing your chicken sizzle and you're smelling it. It smells amazing. And you're probably worried like, oh, should I flip it? Let's just go over there real quick. I'm going to show you one thing. After I find my tongs here. Okay, so if you try to pick up your chicken too soon, you risk ripping the chicken, because when you put a protein in a hot pan, the protein really latches on to the bottom of that pan, and it's not going to lift off easily until it's fully cooked. So you want to really make sure that you're waiting until your chicken has cooked long enough before you flip it. So you can give it a little test. You can start to kind of like try to peel it off the bottom of the pan, and if it gives you some resistance, then you should wait another minute. And mine is resisting right now, so I'm gonna give it another minute before I flip it over. Hot oil. Watch yourself. Don't burn yourself with the oil. All right. Just checking my comments here, making sure I'm reading everyone. It smells so good. So I took a shortcut today and I got mushrooms that are already sliced. You know, they're not going to be any less nutritious than whole mushrooms. If you're trying to take a few shortcuts in the kitchen, that's a good one to take. And I am cooking for about 4 people tonight, so I'm using a full pound of mushrooms. You can find them in half-pound and full-pound containers. If you're just cooking for 2 people, I would get the smaller container. Or you could get the larger one and cook this meal that serves 4 and then just save the leftovers for lunch or dinner the next day. Do we have any leftover fans here? I feel like my husband is sometimes iffy about leftovers. I love them though. Less cooking during the week if you have a busy week. And a lot of times the dishes are a lot more flavorful the second time around. Okay, so we've got our potatoes here. So I'm going to slip them into this bowl. And luckily I've got sous chef Kiki below me who's cleaning up the potatoes that are falling to the ground. If you don't have one of those floor cleaners, you should probably get one. Okay, potatoes. Now we'll chop our onion. So go ahead and get your onion out, and we will chop this up to roughly the same size as the sweet potatoes. They are going to cook a little bit faster than the sweet potato, but that's okay. And so if you've never cut an onion before, what you're going to want to do is we will slice off this one end here, and we'll leave this other end intact while cutting it halfway through. The peel of my onion has already come off, so if your peel is on, you'll simply just peel that papery skin back. There's a little bit left on here, but not enough to be too concerned about it. Okay, and then what we'll do is if you look at your onion, you can see that you've got layers on the inside like this. So what we're going to do is hold on to the end that's still intact and just make a couple of cuts in our knife here. Being careful not to cut all the way through on this side. And then we'll just come through and do either one more cut to make it cut in half, or we'll do 2 other cuts to cut it into thirds, however big you want your onion chunks. I think I'm just going to do mine in half. So I'm just going to leave it like that. And then I'm just going to cut off this end piece here and then finish cutting through this side. So that's one way to cut the onion. Pretty simple, or you can do it however you want. You don't have to do it like that at all. That's how the professionals do it though. All right, now we've got our onion. So let's go ahead and check on that chicken. Clancy is saying, great tip on the meat sticking to the pan. Yes. It took me forever to learn that. I've torn so many pieces of chicken in my day. Now I just practice patience. Just be patient. Katie is saying we always cook enough for lunch the next day. It's a really good habit to get into. It saves you so much time. And Lindsay, hashtag love what's left over. You know I'm both hands up for leftovers. Yes, you are. I know you, Lindsay. Okay, these should be ready to flip now. Oh, that one's not. The skin's ripping off that one. You know what? I'm going to get a spatula instead. If you're getting a little resistance still and you're finding that it's not pulling off the pan but it's burning, you can slip a spatula under it. So loud in here. Yes, you can see that nice golden crispy bit on the outside there. Oh, all the annoying sounds right now. Okay, I'm gonna put a lid on this. Holy cow, that's loud. I hope I didn't just blow out your ears. Are we okay on sound? Okay, good. Jamie Cook is saying, would be cool to see some keto recipes. Cool, okay, so you're doing the high fat, low carb thing. Cool. Hey Dominic, good to see you. Thanks for joining. Jennifer is saying, yes, much more flavorful. Jennifer, I'm assuming you mean chicken breasts versus chicken thighs. The chicken thighs are much more flavorful. Totally agree with you on that. Yep, so does Robin. Chicken thighs all around. Yolanda is saying, I love mushrooms and leftovers. Yes, we have some mushroom fans here. So we were just talking before we went live about how funky and stinky these mushrooms are. So just know, if you're not a mushroom lover, or maybe you're a mushroom novice and you get some mushrooms home and they smell a little funky, it's okay. As long as there's nothing scary growing on them, you're fine. Once you cook them, you're not going to have that smell around in the kitchen. Oh, and Jennifer McKeever is saying she's the leftover queen. Love it. Although I think I might be the leftover queen, so I don't know. Just kidding. We can both be the leftover queens. Okay, so now while that chicken is searing on its second side, we're going to wait, because what we're going to do is pull that chicken out of the pan and throw these vegetables in and saute them for just a minute or two, kind of get them cooking on their own. And then we'll put the chicken back in, and the chicken and the veggies are going to cook together in that one pot. So this is a very simple, easy cleanup kind of one pot meal, which is one of the reasons why I love it so much. And then the ingredients that we're going to put into that pot after everything is back in it is going to be our maple mustard mixture, as well as about a cup or two of chicken broth. And so I'm just going to show you how I do my chicken broth at home. Let me know what you guys do. Curious to hear. You can always buy, a pre-made chicken stock at the grocery store. I like to buy this better than bouillon chicken base. They have vegetable base, they have mushroom base, beef base, ham base, all of the different flavors that you could ever imagine. But I like this over the pre-bottled or packaged, ready-to-go chicken stock for nights that I really want to control the flavor more. So if you think about it, you get a pre-made chicken stock, the flavor is pretty much set. But with this, I can add a little bit more of this paste if I want a richer flavor. You are going to get a little bit more sodium in doing that, so just be mindful about that. If you're somebody who does eat a lot of fast food or convenience foods, and you likely have a high sodium intake, you might want to scale back a little bit or just be more mindful about how much of this paste you're actually using. But I will say, it's a really nice flavor enhancer. That's what we're going to use. So we're going to wait to put this in, but I am right now going to get out my 1.5 cups of water that I'm going to mix this with. So you can go ahead and do the same thing if you're using a base like I am, or go ahead and get out your chicken stock if you're using a pre-made chicken stock, which is still going to be really delicious. So don't feel bad. I hope I don't make you feel bad that you don't have this chicken base, this amazing chicken base, because the pre-made chicken stock is also going to be really nice. Okay, back to the cutting board. The last two things we need to chop up are going to be our scallion and our garlic. So I'm just going to put this onion right on top of the sweet potatoes because they're all going in together. And I'm going to go ahead and chop up a couple cloves of garlic, which is also going to go in. So as you know, or as you see, this is a live cooking class, and we do have quite a few new people who have never tuned in to Cook With Me TV before. So just to give you a little background while I'm chopping up this garlic, Cook With Me TV is like a virtual cooking class that you can take in your own kitchen live. So what we do is we post what ingredients and utensils you need to take this cooking class in your own kitchen. So you get out all of the stuff that you need to cook, you join the live show just like you did tonight, and you cook along with me. So this is a great way to really get you cooking more in the kitchen. If you're really wanting to learn more about nutrition and you want to cook healthier meals at home, this is really going to help you do that. Helps hold you accountable to getting in the kitchen and actually cooking, and you learn a little bit of nutrition information along the way. So, oh, someone's saying I would use more garlic. Robin, how much garlic would you use? I'm willing to up the ante here. I love garlic. Maybe like 2 more? You're right, there's 6 chicken breasts in there, right? Why not? So, fun fact about garlic. Garlic contains fibers called prebiotics, and prebiotics are the little fibers that the healthy bacteria in your gut need in order to stick around and benefit you, keep you healthy, reduce your inflammation, keep you regular in the bathroom. So garlic and onions actually have those prebiotics, which are very, very good for gut health. So, Robin, the more the merrier. Okay, cool. 6, she's saying 6. I'm going to just stop at 5 only because I'm on a little time crunch here. And I'm just going to slice these up real quick and we'll get them in. These guys are actually really big too. These are some of the larger garlic cloves I've seen. Does anybody ever use that pre-minced garlic that you can find at the grocery store just as a time saver? Okay, let's go ahead and we'll get that chicken out real quick, and we're gonna get all of our veggies in the pan. Let me grab a plate. Fresh plate. I'm gonna put that cooked chicken on the raw plate. Woo! My goodness. Wonderful. We're just gonna throw those veggies right on in here. And we'll season them with a little bit of salt and pepper. Get our mushrooms in here too. If you want a little bit of green, you could add some kale in here. Or you could serve it over some spinach at the end. All right. Do a little bit of salt and pepper. Salt helps to bring out the natural flavor of your vegetables, so don't feel bad about adding a little bit of salt while cooking. All right, give this a quick stir. We'll let this cook for just a minute, and then we'll plop those chicken thighs right back in. And so while that is working, let's go ahead and mix together this maple Dijon sauce. Hey, Sea Chow. That's what I call Colleen behind closed doors, but I guess I don't call her that behind closed doors anymore because I'm wide open calling her Sea Chow. It's just what I call her. We're not going to go into why I call her that, but yeah. Are you home right now or are you still at the gym? Hey, Larry, good to see you. Thanks so much for joining. This is a recipe you will love. Maple mustard chicken thighs with sweet potatoes, mushrooms, and onions. Oh, yes. Okay, I'm just looking here. Okay, so maple mustard, we're gonna get our mustard in. I have measurements on our website as well, but we're gonna do, excuse me, roughly a 1/4 cup of Dijon mustard. This is quite a tangy sauce. We're gonna do 2 to 3 tablespoons of white wine vinegar or apple cider vinegar. We're going to do 2 to 3 tablespoons of maple syrup. I'm going to eyeball this. 1. Just do 2 here. And then we're going to do about 3 tablespoons of our oil. Use it olive oil, canola oil, whatever you like. 1, 2. And we'll mix this together and we'll add this into the pan once we get that chicken back in there. Oh, the Dijon mustard, oh my gosh, it's so good. Hey Joel, good to see you. Joel Delorme, am I saying that correctly? Welcome, you're watching Cook With Me TV on Peoria Life. Yes, so that's the other thing. If you live in Peoria and you have i3 broadband, you can watch this cooking class on Peoria TV, channel 17. So cool. You can put it on in your living room, turn the volume up, get in the kitchen and cook along. That's what we're here for. Hi, Michelle. Good to see you. I miss you too. Okay, let's see how this is all working in here. We're gonna get these chicken thighs back in the pot here. Oh yes, it smells delicious. Oh my gosh. All right. We'll get these chicken thighs back in and we'll put our chicken stock and this mustard sauce in here as well. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pour my water in this bowl. You can see there's lots of Dijon residue on here, so I just want to make sure that I'm getting every little bit of that I can. And this is the water that we're going to use as the chicken stock. So if you're using that pre-made chicken stock, you just pour your chicken stock right in here and get all that good stuff out. Dump that in, and then I'm going to put about a tablespoon or so of this, excuse me, this base. And once everything comes up to a boil or a simmer, that base will dissolve really nicely and start to get the flavors working in here. So we're going to bring this up to a higher heat so we can get things cooking a little bit more again. Because these potatoes are going to take at least 10 minutes in here. And so I'm noticing now that I spent a lot of time talking earlier. So I'm not sure that this is going to be done completely before the show ends. So what I'll do is I'll post a picture on Cook With Me TV's page and Peoria Life's page of the final product so you can see what it looks like. But in a nutshell, you know, that's how it's made. Put everything into your one pot, let it all cook together until the potatoes are done. Take it out, dish it up, maybe sprinkle some scallion on top, which I'll cut those right now and just show you. Got some wonderful scallions here. It's always nice to garnish your meal with a little something extra. And you'll just sprinkle these right on. And if you feel like the maple Dijon sauce gets kind of lost in your final dish, you can always drizzle a little extra on top when you're done with your meal. So I'm sorry that I'm not able to finish the whole thing and dish it up like I normally do. So if you're new here, normally I show you the final product and give it a little taste and tell you how it is. And it's always so good, of course, right? Right. So next time though, be here next Wednesday at 6 p.m. I'll be cooking up something different, but equally delicious and equally healthy. Thank y'all so much for joining me in my kitchen tonight. Again, my name is Ashley Thomas. I'm a registered dietitian here in Peoria, Illinois, and I'll be right back on here next week. So come cook with me. Look out for the ingredients list ahead of time and plan to actually cook with me. It'll be fun. It's like taking a virtual cooking class in your own kitchen. All right. Thanks y'all. Have a wonderful evening and I'll see you next time.
PeoriaLife.com